fans know all about a two-quarterback system, and the senior quarterback, Nate Longshore, is going to get the start tonight. But their offense is all about one of the most dynamic and fastest players in college football, running back Jahvid Best.
Yeah, I think he's the most explosive running back in all of college football. He is just a highlight reel waiting to happen. Get this, 8 times this season he's broken off a run for 50 yards or more. This guy, 1,400 yards rushing this season, pretty quietly, without most of the country recognizing this. This guy is incredibly fast, incredibly quick, powerful, and he is the focus of everything Cal does offensively.
And Cal fans also know that this game is filled with many search and destroy speed-burning linebackers. Among them, Cal's Pac-10 first-teamer Zach Follett is wired up.
Bang train's coming back today, baby. One last stop. We got some big boys up front. I'm about to smash them. Smash them, dog. It's my last game. I don't care about my body. Bah! Oh, I can't wait for that. Nothing lateral. We go downhill and smash them dudes in the mouth. JB. Best game of the season right here. Best game of the season. Dominate these dudes. Run all over them on national television. Time to bring that pain train, baby. Time to bring that pain train, baby. Let's go. Woo! Woo!
And you got Cal to my left, Miami to my right. When you talk to the coaches about this configuration, they have 2 things that concern them. First, substitutions. Can they get their players on the field in a timely fashion? The second would be communicating with the officials. Can they get their attention to initiate a challenge? You know, you take a rectangular field, you put it in a baseball stadium, and we've created some really awkward angles. The left end zone is directly against the left field wall here at this baseball stadium. There's about a yard from the end zone to the wall, Joe. I don't think we're going to be seeing too many deep fade routes into that end zone.
No, it reminds me of arena football here, fitting this football field into this stadium, but it's part of the charm. Head coach Randy Shannon, his 2nd year leading the way for the Canes. He was the D-cord for 6 years, also a linebacker on Miami's national title team back in '87. And Jeff Tedford, 2-time Pac-10 Coach of the Year, took over a 1-win team when he got the job, and he's averaging over 8 wins a year. That's the best in school history. So Cal won the toss, and they will accept. And Matt Bosher will kick off to the very dangerous Jahvid Best and Jeremy Ross. And this is a short kick that is picked up and fielded at the 37-yard line. Let's take a look back at this, Rod.
Well, you know, kick it away from Jahvid Best. They don't want to take the risk of kicking the ball deep, but you have a kicker slipping as well. That's Bosher slipping down, and that ball winds up at about the 37-yard line. Pretty good field position for California.
And the Cal offense ready to take the field, and they will do so with senior quarterback Nate Longshore. He earned the start through his solid practices this month, but he's been on a roller coaster ride through his career. 5th all-time at Cal for passing yards, yet has been in and out of the lineup for 2 years, with sophomore Kevin Riley getting plenty of starts. And Longshore to pass here on 1st down, and that is incomplete off the fingertips of Jeremy Ross.
Well, the California offense is at the top of your screen. It's an offense that really has relied on the running game and Jahvid Best. The quarterback position has been, at best, inconsistent this year, whether Nate Longshore has been the quarterback or Kevin Riley, who's had more starts than Longshore. They've really had trouble with accuracy, as you just saw in that first play. Longshore with 3 starts on the year, 9 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and now working out of the gun. And the first carry of the game for Jahvid Best, he is swallowed up immediately by Glenn Cook. That's a loss of 4. And at the top of your screen again is the Miami defense, and this is a very young defense, a defense that is known for playing young players and having some speed out there. You see Cook out there and Sean Spence, freshman linebacker. His defense has not been very good against the run lately, but a little that is skewed with having faced a Georgia Tech team that runs the option and chews up everybody. So Longshore facing an early 3rd and long. Line to make is just over the 47. And that is incomplete. A fine defensive play by Chavez Grant.
It was intended for Ross again, but Grant, who's a team captain, with his 7th pass broken up on the year.
Yeah, just watch to the left of your screen. Just great coverage. Longshore gets his ball out, but watch Grant, right hand in there. That's the perfect way to do it. Keep the backhand free so that you can still wrap the guy up and make the tackle if you have to.
So Brian Anger on to punt for Cal. Brett Cooper lets it bounce, and it is down at the 32. So with the suspension of Robert Marr, true freshman Ja'Cory Harris is the starter for the 2nd time this year. And all he knows is winning, Rod. He led Miami's Northwestern High to a national title. And he told me yesterday, I said, when was the last time you lost a game? He said, as a starter? I said, yeah. He said, 7th grade.
Yeah. Well, you know, talking to him this week, could he have been more relaxed and more confident about this opportunity?
Well, what do they say? Ignorance is bliss. You don't know the spot you're in, a young man in a spot like this.
He said, yeah, Cal's defense is good. He said, but, you know, I don't feel any pressure. I just go play.
He is cool and calm. And to pass now on 1st down, setting up the screen to Cooper. And Greg Cooper is taken down right away by Zach Follett. That's a loss of 5.
Top of your screen is the California defensive lineup. It is a defense that is a lot faster than people realize. They play a 3-4 scheme, and the linebackers are the strength of that defense. They've been very, very good this season, but they don't get much notoriety because USC's defense is all world.
Very talented core, speedy and fast. And they switched that 3-4, and it served them well. Now Cooper out of the eye. And just trying to get back to that original line of scrimmage. A look at the impact players here for the Miami offense.
Well, it starts with the running game. Greg Cooper has led that team in rushing the last 2 seasons. He'll be a big factor for them tonight. He'll get some help, though, from Javaris James. You know, kind of a tough runner inside. Really helps their rushing attack. And then the tight end position has become an issue for Miami. Chris Zellner gets the start. Dietrich Epps is out of the ball game with an injury, and Richard Gordon is suspended. So they're down on tight ends for this ball game.
3rd and 10 for the true freshman. Harris. And that was almost intercepted as he was trying to get it out there to the speedy wide receiver, but Tony Felder, the fine linebacker, dropping back into coverage and getting in front of Sam Shields.
Well, Miami's not going to make a lot of yardage on 3rd and long against this California defense. They love playing 5 defensive backs. When they get to their nickel package, they are very, very difficult to move the ball against.
So Matt Bosher, the team MVP, does it all kicking for the Canes. And Sid Quan Thompson, very dangerous return man. He's going to let this one bounce. Thinks about fielding it for a moment, but then it harmlessly goes out of bounds. 40-yard punt for the Canes. And Longshore and company look back to business here in the Emerald. There's Jeff Tedford, Cal head coach, who's led Cal to 6 straight bowl games. That's a school record. The impact players for his offense starts with the main man at running back.
Well, you see what he's done with the highlight reel, 50 yards plus 8 times, but 500+ yards rushing the last 2 ball games. Part of the reason is Alex Mack, 3-time first-team All-American and the Grady Award winner. Great player, smart athlete as well. And then at the tight end spot, Cameron Mora. He's a guy that can really be effective in the passing game for California. Has as many catches as any wide receiver on the team.
And he set the school record for the most touchdowns by a tight end. So Nate Longshore back out there. Both defenses looking sharp on the first 2 series of this game. Best back in the eye. And here is Jahvid Best. And he breaks free from the initial tackle. And a little glimpse of the shake and bake of Jahvid Best. He was taken down by Ryan Hill, but a gain of 8.
Well, you know, you hear about his speed and you don't think about him being a physical runner, but he's a lot tougher than you think. He can break arm tackles, and he also has great balance. But people think about Best. They think about his speed. They know he ran track in high school, outstanding. They think, oh, you know, soft. Not at all. He's a tough guy. He'll run through arm tackles.
You don't want to label him as just a track guy. Won the 100 meters, state champ here in California, but he's a football player. And now on short yardage, got the first down and looks to break free, and he almost did. Marcus Robinson finally got to him, but another 9 yards for Best.
Well, the defensive impact players from Miami have their hands full. Antonio Dixon up front, he's got to make sure he handles Alex Mack and restricts that rushing lane for Jahvid Best. Sean Spence, freshman rookie of the year in the ACC on defense. Outstanding speed at the linebacking spot. He'll be effective. And Glenn Cook, he's the leader of that defense at the middle linebacker spot in his 6th season at Miami.
He missed the entire 07 season with a foot injury, and he's a dynamic young man. And now testing the right side, and it looked like the ball came loose, and Miami signals that they have it. Canes ball. Shane Vereen loses the ball, and the Canes jump on it.
And this is something that Miami hasn't done much of this season, taking the football away. Only 14 takeaways this season. JoJo Nicholas is the one that gets in there, rips that thing out. Clearly a fumble. You don't have Shane Vereen on the ground. Nicholas gets in there and recovers it. The ball looked like it was ripped out by Romeo Davis, number 51.
So JoJo Nicholas with the fumble recovery. He's a local product down in Miami, kind of following that great line of Miami safeties like Ed Reed, Kenny Phillips, and now Javaris James playing tailback for the Canes. And James gets the call and finds the sledding a little rough as Felder came into the backfield and took him down for a 3-yard loss along with defensive end Tyson Alualu. The Cal defense is very talented, Rod. Let's look at the impact players for the Bears.
Starts up front with Tyson Alualu, who's been a great player for them for years. He's their best defensive lineman, second-team All-Pac-10. And Zach Follett, he's the playmaker. He's the linebacker who rushes the quarterback, creates a lot of havoc in the backfield, likely to be an NFL guy. And Sidquan Thompson has really blossomed as a corner, first-team All-Pac-10, and a great punt returner.
He has started all 38 games of his career for the Golden Bears. And they go with the inside handoff to James, and he's still pushing ahead, and he's able to get to the 46, so he gains 7 that time.
Well, that's huge. You know, they have to stay out of 3rd and long with the young quarterback.
I'd like to dial one up right here. The true freshman, Ja'Cory Harris. They're going to run it on 3rd down, and finding nowhere to go is James, as big Derek Hill smothered him, all 305 pounds of him.
Yeah, trying to be conservative and stay out of a tough spot here. You see just complete domination up front. Look at the way they handle this up front. They do a nice job of defeating the point of attack. Derek Hill, very great up front and inside, number 76. Nice up front play.
So the defense is showing off their stuff early on as Bosher back out to punt. Sidquan Thompson calling for the fair catch. And he corrals it at about the 24.
We're gonna have more space.
ESPN College Football, the Emerald Bowl, is brought to you by Emerald Nuts. Stay sharp at 3 p.m. with natural energy from Emerald Nuts. And by the Volkswagen Signed and Drive event. German engineering for practically just a signature.
Beautiful scene here in San Francisco. The cable cars, the Emerald Bowl, Miami and Cal.
Good to have you in my part of the country, Cal.
That's right. Joe Tessitore alongside Rod Gilmore, our Bay Area guy who's got a home game here, as do the Golden Bears. This stadium sold out, and a sea of blue and gold throughout. 4 possessions so far in the first 4 drives. We've only seen 1 first down. Now Longshore pressured on the inside, looks to get out of it and just chucks it away, up for grabs, and it falls incomplete. Well, that was dangerous for a moment. You saw Brandon Harris coming in there, and the pressure came from Antonio Dixon on the inside.
Well, that's the kind of play that has gotten Longshore in trouble, and in trouble with the Cal fans. And he seems to have this tendency on occasion to take chances and toss the ball up that winds up in the wrong hands. And that was the problem with him losing his starting job to Kevin Riley, this season. And you see Riley on the sidelines there, who won the job to start the season and gave it back for this ball game.
Longshore now. And they're setting up the screen to Tucker, and he is blasted right away. Boy, this Miami defense is bringing it tonight. Sean Spence just came in there and ripped that apart.
When we talk about the speed of the Miami defense, it showed up right there. And Sean Spence wasted no time. He just comes flying up right away, shows up, look, right there, flying right in from the inside to the outside. The linebacking spot, he comes in there and makes a play. He's got great speed.
Sean Spence, the freshman All-American. Defensive coordinator Bill Young, who's been everywhere and coached everyone, he said he's better than any freshman I have ever been associated with. Flanked by Jahvid Best. Longshore. He's got Tucker this time. And here goes Varan Tucker. It is a foot race. Touchdown, Cal. 76 yards, Longshore to Tucker.
Nate Longshore put the ball on the money. He got it behind the short guy and in front of the deep guy in the zone they were playing. Two safeties deep, corners up. He got it right in between them, right on time, and then Tucker outran the secondary.
And Coach Randy Shannon was quick to get over to the referee. And the officials are talking things over.
Well, I think Randy Shannon is thinking he didn't get into the end zone, that he might have stepped out, and he wants a good hard look at that.
Any offense come up big. First Cal completion of the game. And we'll see if it holds up as a 76-yard touchdown or they mark it short.
I think they're going to mark him short. I mean,
that's what we do. Rolling edge, the runner was down at the 2-yard line. The California ball, first down and goal on the 2-yard line.
So a 76-yard touchdown becomes a 73-yard reception. But Cal will be knocking on the door with a 1st and goal.
Yeah, and there was no question his knee was down. The only question was, from that angle, could you make the determination that the ball did not cross the plane there? And the replay officials obviously did.
Well, they took their time, and seemed like from the replay we saw, they got it right. So the ball is spotted just over the threshold of the 2-yard line.
Give Randy Shannon a good credit for challenging that call.
Here's Best. And Best is taken down short of the goal line.
Based on him.
So 2nd and goal. Best remains as the lone back. Gets the pitch and easily into the end zone. So Jahvid Best cleans it up after the review of the big play to Tucker. And Best scores from a yard out.
Yeah, not a lot to this, but a nice block on the edge by their fullback, Tyson Alu right there. He does a nice job of getting the block there. Will Taofo, I'm sorry about that. Not Tyson Alu, but 23. Taofoa is out there. Great block on the edge. Makes it easy for Jahvid Best.
And Giorgio Tavecchio with the extra point.
It's an SEC versus ACC showdown as the LSU Tigers try to contain the triple option attack of Georgia Tech. Capital One Bowl week on ESPN, the Chick-fil-A Bowl, LSU Georgia Tech, Wednesday at 7.
What an entertaining one that was, with West Virginia and NC playing a great game. Ja'Cory Harris trying to get free and unable to do so. Zach Follett with the sack. Hey, what do you say pregame? It's my last game. I don't care about my body. I'm laying it out there.
Well, Zach Follett is just an impressive guy, speed rusher on the outside, and you have to account for him. He's a pretty good open field tackler, better in the backfield than down the field, but he was just all alone. You got to have somebody on him. That's 9.5 sacks for Follett this season.
14-yard loss as Follett came in and got to the true freshman, Ja'Cory Harris. And now Cooper trying to find some running room right up the middle. And Cooper was taken down by Sean Kutuz.
Tess, let's go back to that big play that led to the touchdown. Watch the matchup there. It looks like Miami is trying to rotate up and have their corner rotate over there.
The Cal score. Now a 3rd and 18 for Harris. Harris pressured again. Just trying to do it on his own, unable to find much room as Sidquan Thompson, one of the fastest players on the field, tracked him down.
Yeah, again, you know, we belabor the point, but California, 3rd down defense, they're very, very good. Here you see the zone that they drop into, and they still get pressure. That time you had Rulon Davis coming in, pressuring Harris out of the pocket. Now, that defense, 3rd down, very, very good, only giving up first downs 30% of the time.
Usher gets it away. Pressure did come. It bounces at midfield and takes a Cal bounce, and finally is hauled in at the 42-yard line. So just a 19-yard punt from the guy who was named the team MVP this year. Well, Rod, I know each week you like to dive into the film and come up with your research. What did you find out about Cal?
This week I was able to do it in my own basement here. And for offense, California, they have to get something in the passing game mid-range. Longshore has to be effective. He's been effective with one pass. Defensively, they have to get to Harris. They got to get hits on him. Might not sack him, but they have to knock him around.
And so far, they've done that. Jahvid Best now. And Best with a seam. Gets past a man. Jahvid Best, touchdown, Golden Bears, 42 yards.
Now watch how he runs this. He is looking to get back here. He wants to run opposite of where Alex Mack starts that block. He cuts it back. He does this time and time again. And if you think anybody is going to catch Jahvid Best when he gets in the open, forget about it.
Tavecchio's kick is up and good.
So, what do you think?
Who had 311 yards in the last regular season game. 4th best rushing game in Pac-10 history, is off to a dynamic start here tonight. 2 touchdowns for the Cal Bears early on.
Yeah, you see the long runs that he makes. 16 rushes of 20 yards or more this season, 10 for touchdowns, 58 yards rushing tonight already on 6 carries.
So Tavecchio back out for the kicking chores, and once again they pop it up and try to stay away from the speed of Brandon Harris, as Daryl Sharpton collects it for Miami. And as for Rod's research for the Canes,
yeah, well, you know, offensively, it's not that hard. They've got to throw the ball. You know, they can't wait until they get inside the 20 because they won't score on Cal's red zone defense. Defensively, it's all about Jahvid Best. Keep him from making the big plays. They haven't done that so far tonight.
you said you have to make sure he doesn't go for the 20+ gains. He just went for 42. And you saw what happens when he gets through that first wave of defenders and tries to match up speed for speed. He wins. So now Harris and James back out on the field. Harris looking for Johnson, and that is out of bounds, incomplete. It was caught by Sean Kutuz. But Harris just lofting it out there for his former high school teammate, Aldarius Johnson.
Well, you see James talking to the freshman, the true freshman quarterback, trying to settle him down. You can't try and force things. This is only his second start. His first start was the season opener. And now he finds himself down 14 points against a California offense that looks like it's really starting to find itself behind Jahvid Best. And he knows they've got to get back in the game. They got to get a score. He might press a little here.
Yeah, this isn't Charleston Southern he's up against. This is a big spot against a speedy and athletic defense. And Jahvid James gets a taste of that right there. Cameron Jordan taking him down. He's the son of the 6-time NFL Pro Bowler, the tight end Steve Jordan.
Yeah, look what they do up front, though. They do a nice job. You defeat right now. You defeat the guys up front. You defeat that center. You force double teams, and you don't get that done yet. You get a nice job by Kane inside.
So just what the true freshman didn't need if you want to settle in. A 3rd and 11. Here comes the blitz off the edge. And he looked to Johnson once again, but Mike Muhammad was coming in off the edge for a free shot on Ja'Cory Harris. He just had to get rid of it.
You think defensive?
Sidquan Thompson having to come up to make that fair catch. He was a good 10 yards off the ball when he ran up for it. Well, Capital One Bowl Week continues Monday on ESPN. We've got 2 games. First at 3 Eastern. Big East. 2 of the teams playing the best at the end of the year. Here goes Best again. Cutting back against the grain after going to the outside. And another first down for Cal as Best tacks on 15 more yards.
You're in a dilemma when you deal with Jahvid Best. He has so much speed, he can get to the outside that you have to overrun plays. You see right there that's happening with Glenn Cook get outside. But when you overrun plays, he is so good at cutting back, he can find a lot of yardage inside.
8 yards a carry for Jahvid Best on the season's #1 in the nation. Tonight, he's over 10 yards a carry. Flea flicker now, back to Longshore. He's pressured and just throws it away. So that Miami front 4 stayed with it and got after Longshore.
They may not need the flea flicker right now. You can just keep giving it to Jahvid Best. Just take a look at what he's done recently. Against the Washington Huskies, he was just outrageous. More than 300 yards rushing. Big play after big play. And check out this move here. That's this play. And you just don't catch this man in the open field. He's got breakaway speed, great balance. He's one of the few guys that's had a day like that. 311 yards, the top FBS rushing performance.
Well, you see what Sean White did, but when you look at that list, Best, the only on that list to do it against a BCS automatic qualifying school in conference play. And this time he gets the ball and gets it down for a 1-yard gain. Stephen Wesley was able to
rehabilitate himself and only missed a game and a half this season with all the other things that happened to him.
No, he's dealt with elbow, foot, ankle problems. Missed last year's bowl win against Air Force with that hip injury, and they really did contemplate off-season surgery. Now Shane Vereen comes in at running back, flanking Longshore on 3rd and 9. Longshore up and over the intended target. He was trying to get it to Varan Tucker. Yeah, Marcus Van Dyke had the coverage and a high throw.
Same old story for California in their mid-range passing game this season. And Jeff Tedford, it's so frustrating for him. You're talking about a guy who's had Aaron Rodgers, Achilles Smith, Joey Harrington. And look at this. You got a guy open in your face and the ball's hot. And whether he's used Riley or Longshore, the problem has been the same.
So Brian Anger, it's a punt for the Golden Bears. High kick. And it goes into the end zone for a touchback. Now Miami looking for something here. Well, let's check in with Quint Kesnick. Quint?
Joe, the sense I get here down in the field side is that was a big stop by that Miami defense as Cal drove into their territory. Momentum really on Cal's side. Big home contingent here to support them. Meanwhile, Miami, with their youth, their inexperience in bowl games, on their heels, I think it was a key stop. You know, they weathered the storm. This game could have gotten out of hand quickly.
Well, many feel, and it's a good point, Quint, that the issue will not be with the Miami defense, but what can Ja'Cory Harris, the true freshman, offer up on this side of the ball? And Greg Cooper fighting ahead for 2 yards.
Well, Tess, you and Quint are right. I mean, you can't get momentum back unless your offense does something. And right now, California is really bringing everything on first down. I mean, Bob Gregory is dialing up pressure and run blitzes to make sure that he puts them in a 2nd and long and 3rd and long situation. He loves to get into the nickel package. I mean, when California gets their 5 defensive backs, they bring pressure, they play zone behind it, and for a freshman, that's really, really tough.
And Gregory, the defensive coordinator, the 2nd best scoring defense in the Pac-10, of course, behind USC, which may be one of the best defenses in the history of college football. Now Harris, and he does complete it this time to his tight end Chris Zellner, and Zellner goes for 6 for Harris. Greg Cooper is the lone back. Play action. Harris, and fought for, and then bounced up into the arms of Javaris James for a first down as he tried to get it, I believe, to Tyrone Bird, who is an offensive lineman who moved over to jersey number 84 tonight because of the injury to Epps and a suspension to a 3rd-string tight end. So they throw it to the lineman.
Yeah. But he almost gives it right over to Cal. That ball bounced off of him or bounced off the ground.
Now go and hauling it in off the deflection, the bobbled ball intended for Bird. Harris now winds up and goes deep. And hauled in by Hankerson. Leonard Hankerson, a big spark for the Canes, 40-yard gain.
And what a nice throw by the youngster Harris. Plenty of time, had time to set his feet and wait for his man to run this slow developing route. He's in the slot, Hankerson is, and just runs a deep post. Has to wait a long time for that. Good protection. And it's one of the things we talked about. Miami needs to throw the deep ball.
Now, Quinn just talked about the momentum that the Canes defense just gave him. But the offense needed to respond. Harris just did.
That's the end of the quarter.
Spotlight on Jahvid Best. The 1-yard touchdown run. The 42-yard touchdown run. But here in the final moments of the first stanza, a little life out of Harris and the Canes. 14-zip, Cal on top. Canes marching towards the goal when we return to San Fran.
One throw to Hankerson can give him back the confidence that might have been knocked around in the first quarter.
To throw again. Looking for Johnson, and it goes incomplete. Aldarius Johnson, who a year ago was the high school teammate of Ja'Cory Harris.
Well, he likes the fade route with him down here, and he's going against a good matchup with Sidquan Thompson. Watch how he plays this. He had great position, and he plays the ball. So many times you see a cornerback be in great position, but he doesn't play the ball. Sidquan Thompson always plays the ball.
Thompson goes 5'9", Johnson goes 6'2", but Thompson is as fast and smart of a cornerback as you'll see. Cooper on 2nd down. A flag is down as Cooper tries to stretch it to the outside and is immediately taken down by both Thompson and Follett. And that's against Miami.
Of trying to get 3 out of it, or the possibility of going for it on 4th down. But you don't want a negative play here. And California will be pushing for a negative play.
2 receivers to the top for Harris, flanked by Cooper in the backfield. A little bit of pressure, they pick it up. Harris trying to get free. Trying to get to that line, and he's got the first down. So he does it on his own. 9-yard gain. Darian Hagan, the cornerback, made the tackle. But the speedy Ja'Cory Harris keeps things alive for Miami.
But he does a nice job here, Harris does. He sees his coverage. Look, he sees the 2 safeties deep. He reads zone, and he knows that he's got something deep he can look at. He takes his time. When things break down, he doesn't panic. He looks for a better view, and then he finds the first down marker and heads right for it. He saw the coverage, saw there was nothing there, and made something happen.
Play action now. Harris looking for James. Incomplete.
I think James got away with a little push-off as he got towards the end zone, but Harris is clearly starting to feel pretty good about himself. Yeah, Zeddy Young was trying to cover James down there in the end zone. He saw the separation there at the end. James kind of pushed off, got away with it, but couldn't come up with the ball at the end.
Oh, and he's going to that corner of the end zone. We're here in this baseball park. That wall comes up on you.
How about that ground out there? It's a little hard, too.
Warning track. So 2nd and 10 now. And here's Cooper with a good block out in front. And Cooper able to charge ahead inside the 10-yard line. And that Cal defense, well experienced of being in this spot, coming up big.
Yeah, they're great in the red zone. You look at the number of touchdowns they've given up, and basically 46% of the time, people score. 54% of the time, they stop them from getting touchdowns. That is phenomenal.
10th play of the drive for the Canes. Looking for Bird. Up and in. Touchdown. Ja'Cory Harris to LaRon Bird. Freshman to freshman.
You know, the amazing thing about it was Cal played it correctly. They came off and had great coverage by Darren Hagan. He just couldn't play the ball in the air. He could not get up. Bird could. And we saw just a few plays ago on the other side, Thompson was able to make the play on the ball. And the right coverage, they just didn't make the play at the end. A phenomenal play by Bird to outleap Darren Hagan.
Bosher. Through and true.
The signs are everywhere.
47 is LaRon Bird, and he's got big upside. 6'4", 211 pounds, and he just hauled in the touchdown and cut this lead in half.
I tell you what, you wear that number, you better perform.
You better be good.
You will hear from Michael Irvin.
Yeah. He's gonna have 47 on speed dial.
Oh yeah, yeah. You better play when you wear that number, because he certainly played at Miami and with the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, Bird caught the game-tying touchdown in the final minutes of regulation in a come-from-behind overtime victory at Virginia, and now does wonders for the confidence of this Miami team here in the Emerald Bowl. Jahvid Best. And Best only out to the 21. And now, Rod, for tonight's Aflac trivia question. You're a Bay Area guy, so you have a little bit of advantage on that. Jahvid Best currently leads Cal in both rushing yards and receptions this season, but who was the last player to lead Cal in both of those categories?
I'm all over.
They've had some talented players.
Yeah.
Real talented.
You know, and if you think about recent players, you know, I'll toss out a few names. How about, you know, Marshawn Lynch?
Oh, sure. How about J.J. Arrington?
Yep.
J.J. Arrington was a great one recently with the Bears.
Yeah, they have some players. They've had some running backs over the years.
And right now, it is Jahvid Best who is the star of this program. And Nate Longshore is going to call a timeout and talk things over as he came out for first down to start this drive. The always animated Jeff Tedford giving his instructions. His team up 14-7 here in the 7th playing of the Emerald Bowl.
College football, the Emerald Bowl, is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz, located on the web at MBUSA.com. By Aflac, ask about it at work. And by Capital One Card Lab at CapitalOne.com. What's in your wallet?
There's the ice skating at Union Square in San Fran, where Cal and Miami on display. Well, that's a beautiful holiday scene in downtown San Francisco. This is a great bowl to come to this time of the year with the festivities in Union Square and the whole town lit up. The only problem is when your wives are shopping in Union Square, Rod.
Oh, yeah.
That's really the only problem.
Yeah, we help the local economy, huh?
They talk about the economic boost that a bowl brings to a town. Trust me, we know. So after that timeout, Cal back to it, and coming on the end around is Jeremy Ross. and he is taken down immediately by Spencer Atkins. To the game here on 2nd and 10. Longshore. That is complete to Ross. He's going to be short of a first down. 6 yards gain there.
And part of the issue with tackling is with the long layoff, you know, coaches are reluctant to tackle live, the risk of injury, and so you're rusty when you come play the bowl game.
That's a good point, and Randy Shannon talked about the practice that they were able to get in. On the other side, Cal and defensively and Coach Tedford, defensive coordinator Bob Gregory made a point to say, hey, we went live. We went full a few times, and I think they had that in mind, Rod.
Yeah, I think so. And the other thing about that is you want the bowl to be fun for guys. Guys don't like going live during bowl practices. They want to visit and hang out.
Longshore pressure right up the middle. Gets rid of it, looking for Best. And he was unable to get back to it as the pressure came from Glenn Cook.
And Cook comes right up the middle. Longshore does a nice job of avoiding a sack, but this is just pressure right up the middle. Nothing fancy about it. Nobody picks him up. They outnumber them right up the middle. Cook is in there to make the play. It was all Longshore could do to get rid of the ball. And Miami seems to be settling in defensively.
Now the Miami defense stepping up well. Past 2 times they were out on the field. Anger now. And here's Travis Benjamin. Benjamin able to cut it up to the 47-yard line. 34-yard punt. And Benjamin on the return. So the defense looking to set up the offense again. What will Ja'Cory Harris do when he gets that opportunity? Stay with us. Who will claim the hardware here in a much anticipated showdown, ACC and Pac-10, Cal and Miami. Jahvid Best with 2 touchdowns early on for the Golden Bears, but the Canes coming back as the young Ja'Cory Harris starting to find himself here. The quarterback getting a start, only his 2nd start of his career. Javaris James now trying to get off the edge there, out to midfield. Ja'Cory Harris comes from Northwestern High down in Miami. As do a lot of the Canes, Rod. Talented young team. And Northwestern High, the national champs a year ago.
Well, he was a starting quarterback, 2-time champ at Northwestern.
So Coach Randy Shannon with a very good relationship with that program, and all those guys saying, hey, let's just continue on for another 4 years and stay together. And 10 of them have. And here's James again, and he goes nowhere as he was met right away on the inside by Mika Kane. Well, Ja'Cory Harris and Aldarius Johnson, they both attended Northwestern High in Miami, and they hooked up a lot. Won a pair of Florida Class 6A state championships, and now true freshmen with the Canes here. It'll be very interesting to see as these two develop through the years.
Yeah, but right now, I'll tell you this. He's been good on 3rd down tonight. Much better than I expected.
And he's got Johnson, his old high school teammate, split to the top. Has time. Gets it to Zellner, and Zellner has a first down. So you see the maturity, the poise, the calmness now of Harris.
Well, it goes back to that one pass that he completed to Hankerson in the 1st quarter, the big play. Since then, he's been much more confident and settled in the pocket. He's feeling the pressure. He's feeling when to throw the ball, when to take off and run. And on 3rd down now, he's been much better than he was in the first half of the 1st quarter.
It was interesting to hear with some of the seniors in Miami. One of them yesterday said to me, you know, the only thing that concerns me is how calm he is.
Yeah.
He is so unaffected here. But it's a good thing. So now 1st down for the Canes. Harris to the air again and gets it to his big fullback, Patrick Hill. Hill goes 5'9", 262, just his 3rd reception of the year.
Well, you talk about Harris, and
well, they're happy to keep playing like this, Ja'Cory. 2nd and 6 now. Play action again. Sprinting to the right and tries to get it up to Bird, who's a very big target, but not that big, Rod.
How about the story, when we were talking to Jahvid Harris the other day, and he and his teammates were taking a boat over to Alcatraz. He's calm and cool and talking to us. And
his first trip to San Fran, mind you.
And he goes, oh man, what's wrong? He goes, well, some birds just got me. He said, I'm out here in the middle of the water, and the birds just got me, a bunch of them.
Good tidings and droppings from the sky onto Jahvid Harris. But we said, hey, Jahvid, it's good luck. That's what they say, it's good luck. 3rd and 6. He could use some here. Has time. Now pressured off to the side and throws it away as big Ruwan Davis came in on him. Had a moment there. We could have got rid of it, but not enough to hold off Davis on the edge.
Well, you're going to get 3rd down pressure from California. Davis is to the right side and forces Harris out. Now, Harris does a nice job of getting rid of the football. It saved the opportunity to pin California down deep. If he takes a sack there, they've got big problems.
Also saw good coverage that time by Mike Muhammad on Zellner, the tight end. Bosher's kick now. And it just goes over the goal line for a touchback. So Miami with a bit of momentum, but the Cal defense stepped up when they needed to. 14-7 game here. 8:11 to go. Eastern, the Pacific Life Holiday Bowl. They're going to be lighting up that scoreboard, Rod. Oklahoma State and Oregon hooking up down there in San Diego as Capital One Bowl week continues Tuesday on ESPN.
It's like a rule. If you play in the Holiday Bowl, you better come to score points.
Well, those two teams can score a lot.
They will.
Cal going right back to basics with Jahvid Best, but not finding any running room. Well, earlier tonight we asked you the Aflac trivia question. And if you're a Cal fan, maybe you know this one. Jahvid Best currently leads the team in rushing and receptions, but who was the last player to lead the Golden Bears in both of those categories? Rod Gilmore?
Survey says.
Survey says.
I know. He was an all-time
Chuck
great.
Muncie.
Yep.
Now, you think Chuck Muncie. Yep. You think Eric Coryell, those teams with Fouts in the 80s in the NFL, but his days back in Cal, he was something special.
Yeah, he was a 235-pound running back before you had 235-pound running backs.
And now they got the speed burner, Jahvid Best, and here he goes with blockers out in front. Jahvid Best out to midfield, but when he turns it on, boy, oh boy, is he a challenge to take down. Anthony Reddick finally got to him, but 32 yards out of Best.
California has had a number of great running backs. This guy is the fastest one they've ever had. Look how quickly he gets to the edge now. He is at the edge. They are outnumbered there, and that speed and how quickly he gets there creates a problem. You cannot duplicate that in practice, no matter how often and how many people you get out there. This guy is truly special.
Shane Vereen comes in now to spell Best for a moment. Empty backfield now as Vereen is in motion, and they set it up to him. He's going to pass the ball. He's looking for it, but then swallowed up as they had coverage downfield. He was looking to get it to Cameron Mora. Ball to number 4. Good things happen.
Well, they got to mix it up, but their passing game is anemic. Longshore is 2 of 9. They're trying to find another way to move the ball.
This time he sets up the little screen. Coming back for it was Vereen, but that Miami defense and Sean Spence all over it. Spence, the first-team freshman All-American.
And what did Bill Young tell us about the Cal offense? He said, hey, no disrespect intended, but it's all about Best. He doesn't care about the quarterbacks, doesn't care about the receivers. It's all about stopping Jahvid Best, and Sean Spence got that message, and he understands that.
I'll tell you something else the defensive coordinator of Miami said. He said, watching tape, Riley performs better than Longshore.
Yeah.
But Nate Longshore gets the start tonight from the way he practiced in these weeks leading up. 3rd and 17 now. Corner blitz, Vereen. He's trying to get loose, but he's well short of a first down. Spencer Atkins with the tackle.
And you mentioned Riley. We don't expect to see him tonight. Jeff Tedford said that once he named a starting quarterback for this game, he did not want the quarterback looking over his shoulder. And if he named Longshore, he expected Longshore to play the entire game. Riley doesn't look like a guy who expects to come in the ballgame.
Riley has started plenty this year. 9 starts, 14 touchdowns. And many were surprised to hear that Longshore was getting the nod tonight. Brian Anger to punt. Travis Benjamin calls for the fair catch, and he secures it at the 15. Well, every player can smell the roses, and every team wants its place in history. Every eye's on Pasadena, the granddaddy of them all. Penn State, USC. I mean, what a headline-making Rose Bowl this is. The 09 Rose Bowl game presented by Citi. And coverage begins New Year's Day at 4:30 Eastern on ABC. I'm looking forward to this one. Two tradition-rich programs meeting up.
Well, that HD offense of Penn State, known for putting up some points, and that USC defense known for not giving up any points.
Cooper now on first down. And not much run on the inside there. DJ Holt with the tackle. Let's check in with Quint.
Joe, this is an instance, a Miami possession that's a tough substitution possession, according to their offensive coordinator, Patrick Nix. The players have to jog about 60 yards to the huddle, get organized in the huddle, and get to the line of scrimmage all within the 40-second play clock. And this was a scenario that the coach really had some fear in.
Yeah, it's because of this unique configuration here of playing in the home of the San Francisco Giants, where both teams are on the same sideline, and there's just a 10-yard buffer there from 45 to 45. So now with Miami as far away from their team as can be. Harris to the air, and that it goes for a first down, as he was able to get it to Zellner, who's playing a big role tonight with the absence of Dedrick Epps.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you talk about the configuration and the impact. How does it balance out? And right now, the Miami folks would say, hey, you know, being on the same sideline isn't so bad compared to what they benefit from being in San Francisco.
Well, and the fans love it. There's a certain excitement playing here at this park. Cooper now gets a block out in front, and Cooper takes it for 6 yards. Charming place, one of the best ballparks in Major League Baseball, AT&T Park. And to come here for a major college football game with two programs like this, there is a buzz in the city. This is a sellout ticket. The city of San Francisco and this ballpark are just as much a factor of the success of this bowl game as the two teams on the field. Well, it's a dynamic combination.
Absolutely, and don't forget about the Giants and their involvement with that in providing a facility for this. And the Giants just signing local boy Randy Johnson, you know, creating some buzz around here for the San Francisco Giants fans.
$8 million one-year contract in the recession-proof Major League Baseball. Well, he's a 45-year-old Randy Johnson who's going to try to get his 300th win of his career here in this ballpark. That's a loss of one as Cooper carried the ball.
Did anyone tell the Yankees that the economy's in the tank?
Unaffected, apparently, in the Bronx.
There's home plate.
Home plate of one of the bullpens here in the near sideline of AT&T Park. And right now, the pitcher, the ace for Miami, is the true freshman, the 6'4" string bean, Ja'Cory Harris, who has played with confidence here in this second quarter. 3rd and 5. Harris with time over the middle, and it is intercepted. Mike Muhammad with a diving interception of the freshman Ja'Cory Harris.
And that is the danger zone for young quarterbacks, over the middle. Can they see the linebackers? Can they see coverage? He does not see this man here. He doesn't see that man here. He doesn't see the zone pressure drop off there. 3 guys. Does he see them all? Apparently not. Muhammad comes right back around and picks off that pass.
Muhammad extending himself, the sophomore in this veteran group of linebackers, who actually ends up playing the most, even though he doesn't start, because he backs up every single possession and is out in the field a heck of a lot. Now giving Cal a golden opportunity. Longshore to the outside, and that was batted away by Sean Spence. Let's check in with Reese Davis for a look at what's coming up on the college football halftime report. RD. Looking forward to that race. Be interesting to see Florida State next year, as well as this Miami crew with all the youth between those two programs in the ACC.
Can you imagine Jahvid Best running behind Mark May?
Longshore is going to the safety valve that time as Nyan Boateng hauls it in for a 3-yard gain.
Plenty of time, minute and a half, 2 timeouts. No need to panic. California was trying to get up to the line of scrimmage. At least Longshore wanted to go to the line of scrimmage, but Tedford had other ideas and called a timeout.
So Jeff Tedford wants to talk things over as they face a 3rd down, 90 seconds to go, up a touchdown.
You look amazing.
Same old Gary.
No, listen. I'm sorry about the way things ended. I was immature, but I've been doing some soul searching. I've matured.
Bye, Gary.
You can't always be smooth, but your beer should be. Brewed for a smooth taste that's never bitter. Keystone Light is always smooth. Even when you're not.
Case, there's something wrong with your eye.
One iris.
Interception moments ago by Mike Muhammad, the fine linebacker for Cal. Now has the Golden Bears looking to get something accomplished here before the half.
Yeah, they really haven't used Best in the passing game yet. They have to get him involved in the passing game, if not now, in the second half.
Longshore on 3rd down. That ball was well off the mark. Boateng was out there, but Longshore couldn't connect.
And Cal fans are starting to boo.
Well, that's nothing new.
Yeah, and they've booed Longshore before, and it doesn't make any sense. You shouldn't be, booing college players. And Longshore stands in there, ball's off target. But Longshore and Riley have both struggled this season with accuracy. The intermediate passing game has not been good for Cal all season long.
Well, they're staying out on the field on 4th and 7, but Coach Tedford said, I don't think Longshore ever got the appreciation he deserved. Fans really rode him hard through his career.
Well, the fans were disappointed last year after the great start when Cal was undefeated and ranked 2nd in the country, and then fell apart, and they blamed Longshore for a lot of it.
Now Longshore looking to get it complete to his tight end, but that's well short of a 1st down. That had no chance. Glenn Cook was all over Cameron Mora, but just the selection of that receiver on 4th and 7, I mean, it was well short of a 1st down. What was the best case scenario there, Rob?
Well, you see, Tedford did not want that. He's not happy, and that's been one of Longshore's problems, decision making, and sometimes he's pulled out the wrong decision and gotten picked off, and there you got to throw the ball down the field. 4th down, they're going for it. They don't want you to be short of it. The only guy you throw it short to in that situation is Jahvid Best, because he might make a guy miss. But anybody other than that, you got to throw beyond the mark.
So Nate Longshore hearing the Boo Birds here at AT&T Park. And now Cooper out of the backfield. He's wrapped up immediately by Sidquan Thompson. As good a defensive back as you'll see in the college game coming up. First team all Pac-10er. And a fine player for the Golden Bears now for 3 straight years.
He will be a guy that will be mentioned for national awards next season as a senior if he's around. He'll be pushed for All-America, and deservedly so. He's had a great year, was under the radar before that.
Harris to Cooper again out of the backfield and trying to catch a seam. He's out to the 43-yard line, a pickup of 8, but as the clock winds down, the one thing you get a sense of here is that Miami dodged a bullet there with that interception moments ago by Mike Muhammad.
Well, I think that's right. I think Miami has more confidence because right now they believe offensively California can't throw the ball on them. And it's all about Jahvid Best. They'll feel pretty good about the second half.
Harris and Zellner as the clock continues to run here.
Didn't start the final game of the season tonight because he was suspended for academic reasons.
Well, there's a rule that Randy Shannon put forth that a player's going to be ineligible if he misses 4 more classes. And what happened was, according to Marv's father, Eugene, is that Robert Marv showed up 15 minutes late for a class. But this is the way Randy Shannon wants to run his program as a strict disciplinarian. Kirby Hocutt, the athletic director, said to me recently, he said, I have never been associated with more of a disciplinarian than Randy Shannon, and we're proud to have him be that way.
Well, I think Miami wants that and needs that after they had a string of, bad incidents and what appeared to be they were undisciplined for, a couple of years. And so Randy Shannon came in and said, we're going to clean all that up. He suspended 5 players for tonight's game.
Marv, obviously the biggest name there. Chris Ivory, you see, is the long snapper. Now, he's the long snapper on punts. The snapper on the placement of kicks is still in the rotation. That's Jake Byrne, who's actually one of the backup quarterbacks with the suspension now with Marvin moves up the depth chart. So here's Harris now on what should be the last play here of the half. Cooper is running out at the 49-yard line.
Are you going to the bathroom more than ever?
Well, all those years of watching baseball games here at AT&T Park and the Giants and the home runs going out over the right field wall into McCovey Cove. Well, Brian Anger, the Cal punter, had a little fun yesterday trying to do what all those big sluggers of the major leagues have done here at this famed ballpark. Trying to send it over the wall and into the cove.
For a big splash.
That's for a big splash.
Yeah, that's what Barry Bonds used to do. He'd hit the ball into McCovey Cove and make a big splash.
Ja'Cory Harris, true freshman quarterback for the Canes, trying to make a big splash here. Spotlight game for him. And now a little trickery as they give it back to Harris. And Harris winds up for Cooper. And it was almost intercepted as Cooper had to turn into a defensive back as Chris Conte tried to make a play on that ball.
Yeah, Chris Conte, nickel back, involved, 5th defensive back. Watch how long this play takes to develop, and California does a very nice job of staying deep. If you look here, look at all the guys who are staying back. They have guys in coverage who did not bite. You see as Chris Conte comes into your view right there. He was back there along with Sidquan Thompson. They did not bite on the fakes. They made a nice play.
How about the fact that Cooper was the man who first touched the ball and ends up all the way downfield as the intended target. Harris over the middle, and that ball is complete to Bird. Right to midfield and beyond for a first down, a 20-yard gain.
How many throws and catches do you think those two have made together over the years in high school in their freshman year here at Miami?
Ron Bird, the freshman, 6'4". We told you wearing that number 47, just like Michael Irvin once did. And a bright future with a young quarterback and a young receiver. You stack him with Aldarius Johnson. And here is Lee Chambers, the redshirt freshman, getting in. Well, Rod, there's got to be an end to the rainbow, right? We showed you the punting over the wall, McCovey's Cove.
Yep.
All the kayakers out there trying. Look at this. This was a practice yesterday. Our baseballs are trying to catch.
Come on, Quint, catch one.
That is Quint Kesnick, and he hauled in one of the balls. Reminds me of the Major League All-Star game a few years ago here with all the kayakers out there. So just one of the unique,
that's good stuff.
Charming settings here of the College Bowl season. Harris now, pressure from Alu. And he gets it complete again, and this time he hooks up with Aldarius Johnson, who he did so many times in high school. Hey, Quint, good kayaking out there.
Joe, let me tell you, first of all, the water was frigid. The folks at City Kayak hooked me up. I had all the gear. I felt like a pro. Once I was out there, though, it was almost like I was immobile. When the balls were kicked to the side, there was no way I could get them. If you come and watch the Giants play, you'll see the kayakers, they stay back, and then on a home run, they're watching on TV or listening on the radio. On a home run, they move their kayaks forward to try to get the souvenirs.
Well, Quint, all those years of being a star lacrosse goalie paying off with your stick play there. Looking for Johnson again, but it falls incomplete. But you can see Ja'Cory Harris just gaining confidence, his willingness to air it out now, Rod.
Well, yeah, that play is one thing, but how about the previous play throwing over the middle? Now, Chris Conte is a big corner, 6'3", 200. Johnson's not going to out-jump him. Conte's going to play that. But you're right about Harris. He's taking chances now. He's throwing the ball over the middle, moving to his right, throwing back to his left across the middle. That's danger zone. He got away with it. And now he's putting the ball up on fade routes, just assuming his guys would make the play. But Chris Conte is too big for that.
2nd down and 10. Conte actually broke his thumb in the Washington game and had surgery from the end of the regular season for this bowl game. And here's Chambers, and Lee Chambers driving ahead for a 5-yard gain. He was taken down by Mike Muhammad, who had an interception in the first half.
That's the broken thumb. That's why he wasn't able to pick off 2 passes that he got his hands on.
Now, Rod, you played college ball at Stanford in that position, cornerback. How hard is it to play with an injury like that wearing the protective gear?
I couldn't catch a ball with 2 hands. 2 good hands. So.
That's why you were on that side of the field, right?
I don't know how you can do it with a thumb wrapped up like that.
So a 3rd and 4. Collier in motion. First down, Chambers, and inside the 10-yard line. 18 yards from Lee Chambers.
Oh, what a great job.
A big A.J. Trump, a junior from Clearwater, Florida, paving the way there. Chambers again. Taken down by Warrell Williams, the linebacker for Cal, whose brother DJ Williams was a star linebacker at Miami. He had to whittle down his college choices between these 2 teams. Of course, DJ, great player for the Broncos. They got a big game coming up.
Test down here. Miami likes the fade route. They got a touchdown with one earlier.
Remember, they're heading to that end zone where there's only 1.5 yards before you hit that wall of what would be left field. Chambers again on the stretch. No running room as Williams rides him out, saddled up to Chambers, and just drove him out of bounds.
They chose to run to the short side of the field. And they're getting single coverage to the left side, but they don't like that. They think they have an advantage here. California doing a nice job at point of attack. Mike Muhammad holding the edge there at the linebacking spot, stretching that play out. Nothing there for Miami. Again, they like fade routes down here, but not a lot of room unless you want to run into the left field wall.
Big LeRon Bird to the top of the screen on 3rd and goal. Harris with time over the middle and is caught for a touchdown by Collier. Theron Collier with the touchdown catch. And how about the youngin, Ja'Cory Harris?
I tell you what, he may very well be the starting quarterback next season for Miami. He's played with poise, he's thrown the ball with authority, and he just puts that one right on the money. You can just see the confidence, not only his, but his teammates' confidence in him as the game progresses.
And now Matt Bosher to tie the game. And he does so.
It's time for you, the fans, to decide the Pontiac game-changing performance of the year.
Willie rolls to the right. He throws into the end zone. Ball up in the air. It is caught. Touchdown. The Bulls win. Do you believe it?
8 seconds left. Time to make one play to throw. For Crabtree, it's caught. He plays. Oh, he's the one. Red Raider. Unbelievable. Michael Crabtree has done it.
Casey Dick gets the snap, wants to throw deep down the right sideline for Crawford. Touchdown, Arkansas! Touchdown, Arkansas!
Go to Pontiac.com/NCAA and view the biggest plays from the season. Each week, you, the fans, vote. And each week, plays will be eliminated until there are 4 finalists. Vote for your favorite, and the winning school will receive a $100,000 general scholarship from Pontiac.
Steaming is such an...
SEC and Big Ten powers collide when Noshawn Marino and Matthew Stafford lead the high-octane Georgia offense against Michigan State. Bowl week continues with the Capital One Bowl, Georgia versus Michigan State, New Year's Day at 1 Eastern on ABC. College football lives here.
Joe Tessitore, Rod Gilmore, and Quint Kesnick. Now there's the Bay Bridge, not far away from AT&T Park, where we got a tie ball game. Rod, that's not typically the traffic you get heading home, is it?
That's 4 a.m. traffic.
You're usually sitting there, sitting in that traffic, texting me about something college football-wise. And right now, I think the thing everybody's buzzing about is Ja'Cory Harris. He just hooked up with Theron Collier to tie this game. The story on Harris, a true freshman from Northwestern High, where he won the national championship of high school football, was unbeaten, and now start tonight because of the suspension of Robert Marve. And Jahvid Best just slips and goes down there on the return.
Talking about Harris, I mean, yeah, his confidence since that completion to Hankerson, that 41-yarder, he's been great. I mean, before that, he was 3 of 6 for 4 yards. Since that completion, 14 of 21 for 141 yards.
Yeah, this looked like a game where Cal and Jahvid Best and the speedy linebackers, they were going to get all over Miami. But Harris, who's so calm, so cool, he hooked up with Hankerson in the second quarter for a 41-yarder, and he's been hot ever since. Jahvid Best getting back to work. Here goes Jahvid Best, trying to keep his balance, but he couldn't. To the 46-yard line. But a big burst again from Jahvid Best. He goes for 28 yards.
It's that right side. We talked about it with the graphic. We showed you how he gets so much. And then he loves to cut back. Look at the great block he gets here. And how about Alex Mack over there? Clearing out a huge lane for him. Great blocking at the point of attack. And he was just a little bit away from breaking that one all the way.
Big Alex Mack, the center, sealing that up. The Drady Award winner, the academic Heisman. Longshore now, he's pressured, but he goes over the middle and throws it short and incomplete of Jeremy Ross. And listen to this crowd.
Let's go back to that last play. You want to see a center do a great job. We showed you one angle. Now watch this straight up. This is a center who is athletic, who uses his agility and great skill to just seal off someone inside. And that time he handles Dwayne Hendrick tremendously. That's why you're an All-America. That's why you're a Drady Award winner. That's why you're going to be a guy who's likely to be drafted in the 2nd or 3rd round. Great skill.
Coaches say that you cannot say enough good things about Mack, both as a player and a person. And Miami is going to use a timeout early on here, as Mack leads the way for that offensive line of the Cal Bears. When Jahvid Best is running behind Mack, they are tough to stop. Tie ball game here in the Emerald Bowl. Broadcast is available on ESPN and ESPN HD. Tie ball game here in San Fran. We were just talking about Alex Mack, the fine center for the Cal Bears. Let's take you back to December 9th at the Waldorf Astoria in New York, when he received the Drady Award as college football's top scholar athlete. He's already earned his bachelor's degree in legal studies and currently pursuing a master's in education. He goes 6'4", 316, and he's given an education to the interior play of that Miami defensive line when they commit to that run with Jahvid Best. Here's Best now, trying to get to the outside, looking for room, and he slips down before the pursuit of DeMarcus Van Dyke was able to contain him.
Well, for Miami defensively, it's them dared California to throw the football.
Undoubtedly.
I mean, you know, you can put 11 guys in the box, leave the receivers open, and see if they can actually complete it.
Nate Longshore is just 7 of 18 for 95 yards. And keep in mind, Rod, that 74 of those yards came on one single play to Verran Tucker, where Tucker just got loose and ran for a good 64 of them.
Yeah, they are struggling would be an understatement for the Cal passing attack. Right?
Well, here's a test now for Longshore on 3rd and 10. Has plenty of time. Gets it to Boateng, and a first down by Nyan Boateng. Transferred to Cal from Florida, played there as a true freshman for the Gators. And he is a very fine athlete when they get him involved.
Yeah, they use a crossing route here, clear out for him, and he just runs across the field. Longshore waits on him. Adds something that can get your confidence going. But they have to find a way to throw the ball. Otherwise, his offense will stall. You can't have Jahvid Best carry the ball every single play against a 9-man front staring him in the face.
So a fresh set of downs, and right back to Jahvid Best. And Best is wrapped up immediately by Ponder, coming up from that strong 6 yards for Best. 2nd and 7 now, and Best unable to get past that initial surge as Adewale Ajomo, a redshirt freshman from Hialeah, Florida, with a 4-yard loss of Best.
You know, I would really like to see California move Best out of the backfield. They've done that on occasion this season where they split him out or they've shifted him out of the backfield late, and they've gotten him involved in the passing game or used him on reverses or trick plays. But you're going to have to find something other than the wide receivers to get the passing game going, because it just hasn't been hitting.
Best led the Pac-10 in all-purpose yards. He's been the only answer for Cal tonight. And now Boateng, as that ball is a catch at the 30-yard line. It'll be short of a first down. Brandon Harris. I can remember sitting back watching that game with you. I think we were doing a Sunday night game. Yep. Jump through the hotel room. So they're going to go for it now on 4th and 1. And now Longshore is going to call a timeout. And I can't believe the reaction from his own teammates.
Yeah.
Norris Malele, the right guard, number 55, just so frustrated, almost disgusted when he heard the timeout.
Yeah, he waved his hands, you know, just frantically ticked off. And how about Tedford? Tedford wasn't happy. I mean, I think Longshore looked up and saw the play clock going down. Didn't have enough time. There you see, right there, Norris Malele, you know, expressing his frustration.
Well, you know, you start to wonder with all the shuffling and musical chairs at the quarterback position and things that have happened. I mean, it has been public knowledge, written up in the papers, that there has been a strained relationship between Longshore and Tedford. Longshore explained, say everybody wants the most success they can have in their career and their playing days. But things get a little ugly and testy at times like this.
Well, yeah, I think Tedford wants to have a good relationship with him, and the frustration is that, you know, things haven't worked out for Longshore and the way he wanted them to.
So here's 4th and 1.
Right thing to do to go for it here.
And the right guy to give it to Best to the edge. And Jahvid Best fighting his way inside the 10-yard line.
Is he a treat to watch or what?
Tack on another 25 yards to his total.
He does a great job, but you know, to run outside, you have got to get a block on the edge. He gets a block on the edge and a steal, and that's all she wrote. If you get the block on the edge, Jahvid Best will get you every single time. That was a great job on the edge. Great blocking by Tad Smith, who goes at about 6'5", 265.
Well, he is the offense tonight. 158 yards from Best. Motion now, and that came from the left side, and it was Tad Smith who had just made that fine block on that
false start. Number 44, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Tad Smith made the great block that freed Jahvid Best to get to the edge. Probably so pumped up and excited about it, he couldn't wait to hit somebody else. Look to the left side, you'll see him jump right there. That's a no-no.
Cal's first penalty of the night. So now back to the 10-yard line. Best looking for that lead block, looking for the end zone, and he's just short. Inside the 1-yard line goes Jahvid Best.
And test if you.
Ross is in motion. Here's Best. And Miami able to get to him that time. As Ryan Hill came up along with Allen get there. Here's 3rd and goal. Riley stumbles and falls back. Excuse me, Longshore stumbles and falls back. And the night continues For the Cal quarterback who just can't get anything going his way, and the crowd reacts again.
Yeah, he just got stepped on. One of his linemen, it looked like it was either Boscovich or Matt, who stepped back and got on it.
Boy, does that just sum up the year the quarterback play for Cal, be it Kevin Riley or Nate Longshore, stumbling back. So in comes Giorgio Tavecchio from 23 yards out. And the lefty puts it through. So Jahvid Best with the conversion of the 4th down. Gets him down, knocking on the door. But on 3rd down, Longshore stumbles back and they have to settle for 3. But nonetheless, Cal takes the lead. Emerald Bowl, part of ESPN's presentation of Capital One Bowl Week. From San Francisco, the Miami Hurricanes challenging the Cal Golden Bears. Due to time constraints, we move ahead to further action. 2008 Emerald Bowl, part of ESPN's presentation of Capital One Bowl Week at a sold-out AT&T Park, home of the Major League Baseball San Francisco Giants, and home to a heck of a football game tonight between Cal and Miami, as Cal's Jahvid Best has put on a show, and Miami's true freshman quarterback Ja'Cory Harris is grown up in front of our eyes. 2nd and 1 now for the Canes. Cooper fumbles the ball, but able to fall on it. A flag comes down.
Hey, the officials already signal holding against Miami. It looks like Miami recovered the fumble.
Holding, offense, number 55. That's a 10-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
Randy Shannon's son, Xavier, coach's son, with the holding there on the 2nd and 1.
What do you say to Dad when you make a mistake?
You don't go back to the sideline. You walk. You know that 60-yard walk we're talking about, because they're so far away with the configuration here at the ballpark? You walk 70 yards.
Yeah.
You walk an extra 10 yards away from them.
Wait till I get you home, son. Yep, this one comes out right away. Cooper can't hang on to it, but he scrambles to get it back. Great hustle play.
So it goes from 2nd and 1 to 2nd and 11 here. And they still go with Cooper. And he plows ahead to the 26-yard line, a 6-yard gain.
Well, Ja'Cory Harris has really been the story for Miami's offense tonight. The backup quarterback has become the frontline guy. Once he hit Hankerson for that long pass.
At Virginia on a 15-play drive. Now looking for a rally here, and that is incomplete. Nearly picked off by Warrell Williams. He was trying to get it to Collier.
Yeah, it's the worst pass he's thrown tonight. He threw it behind him. Makes you think somebody went the wrong way, but he threw it inside. Collier went outside. And sometimes that miscommunication happens on an option route. And Collier, if he had the option, he chose to go outside when Harris thought he would go inside.
Yeah, Warrell Williams, who grew up rooting for Miami because Big Bro was a star linebacker there. DJ. And this takes a Canes bounce. A flag is down in the backfield near the punter. Let's see what the call is here.
No. Running into the kicker, number 25.
Well, that might be enough.
I think it is.
To give him a first down. Yeah, this is like a turnover.
This should be enough.
Running into the kicker, the 5-yard penalty result, and a first down.
Brett Johnson with a costly penalty on special teams. So Miami catches a break as Bosher, they ran into him in the right direction, and now the Canes back out there.
They need to throw more on first down.
And they will try to here. Follett was trying to chase down Harris. And he's just going to let this one go into what would be center field here. at this baseball stadium. The pressure came from Follett.
Yeah, the fans are booing. It's a partisan crowd. Cal fans who made the trip 12 miles to get here wanted throwing the ball away penalty here, and Follett, trying to get there, kept falling down as Rutledge did a nice little job on him, almost tackling him.
A de facto home game here for the Cal fans. Zach Follett's such an interesting character. Loved having him wired up, mic'd up in the pregame. He said it's time to ride the pain train.
What did he say? He doesn't care about his body. It's his last game.
Harris now sprinting away from that pressure and gets it complete to Benjamin for a first down. So a good look at what Harris is able to do when you get him out of that pocket. Quint mentioned that was the intention here.
And what did Harris tell us yesterday? He said, I don't get nervous. The pressure doesn't bother me. I just go play. Well, that's what he's been doing since about midway through the first quarter. He's just been playing. Whether he's in the pocket or rolling out of it or scrambling, he hasn't lost his composure at any point in time.
Fresh set of downs for the Canes. Running into the punter. And then the completion. Harris to Travis Benjamin. And now changing up the play here with under 10 seconds to go on the play clock. Chambers. He has running room. Gets to the edge. And Lee Chambers is becoming a bit of a factor here. 10-yard gain there. Taken down by Ezef.
You know, Tess, I mentioned earlier that Miami needed to throw more.
True freshman gets his second start. And he has come up big since the second quarter. Chambers again. Good blocking out in front. And Chambers with a burst down the sideline inside the 30, and a flag comes in late. That was a good block by Chris Zellner on Brent Johnson, the safety for Cal. Let's see how they clean things up here at the end of this play.
Zellner had Johnson on skates going the wrong way. That is not anything you want to see on tape.
Foul to play. Dead ball. Personal foul. The defense. Dead ball. Personal foul on the offense. Those penalties offset. Resolve the play. First down.
So things neutralized there.
For about 2 quarters now.
It does. I mean, Cal jumped out to that 14-zip lead where they were rolling with Best, but Miami has found their stride. And now Harris connects with the fullback Hill. And Hill is out at about the 23-yard line. Well, Rod, let me tell you how I plan next week. I'm going to host that New Year No Limits motorcycle jump in Vegas, and then I am super gluing myself to a couch come New Year's Day. I mean, Penn State, USC.
Yeah.
Lock me in, man.
Yeah.
Coverage begins at 4:30. The 09 Rose Bowl game presented by Citi. It's going to be a great one.
Yeah, and everybody knows about that USC defense, but, you know, Penn State's offense, they're bringing something to the party. This game is going to be a lot better, a lot closer than people think.
2nd and 4 now. Play action. Harris, plenty of time downfield and has it complete. And once again, he goes to LaRon Byrd, the 6'4" freshman target.
Well, they do a nice job of moving him away from the pressure. They get him out of the pocket, which gives him the ability to have a nice view of Byrd on this out route. As he comes back to him, he's got an unobstructed view of Byrd because they moved him out of the pocket. And California has not gotten any hits on Harris in quite a while.
How relaxed is this kid playing this position, Rod?
Well, you know, yeah. I mean, you know, first quarter they were banging him around. They have not been close to him in quite a while now.
1st and goal. To pass again. Zellner, the tight end, trying to cut back against the grain, but there was not much running room at all. And now watching the maturing and development of a young quarterback here with the Canes. To the corner of the end zone for Byrd. Off his fingertips. Incomplete. Sidquan Thompson going toe-to-toe with LaRon Byrd.
And, you know, it's all about matchups. They like to throw the fade. This is not the right matchup. Sidquan Thompson plays the ball in the air very well. You can run the fade, but you got to run it to the other side. You can't do it on this guy. He's going to fight and scrap when the ball's in the air. That's why he's a first-team All-Pac-10 defensive back.
This big Cal crowd trying to generate some noise at the beautiful ballpark by the Bay on 3rd and goal. Harris, the rush is on, over the middle. Benjamin, he cannot shake free, taken down at the 5-yard line by Chris Conte.
Cal did a nice job of bringing pressure, but sitting in the zone and reading the quarterback's eyes. You know, one of the great things that Harris has done is he hasn't really turned over the football since that one pick. A lot of pressure there. Cal sitting in the zone, but still a nice safe pass preserves the field goal opportunity to tie the game.
And here's the young man who had the breakout season. They named him the team MVP, and now the pressure on Matt Bosher. It was short chip shot, 22-yarder to tie the game. And he just sneaks it through.
The signs are everywhere.
Yeah, people didn't know much about him this year, but he'll show up next year.
They open up with ND, I believe, next year. Jahvid Best from the 6. And Best with a decent return to set up the Cal offense here. 9:08 left in regulation. Tie game at the Emerald Bowl.
The Emerald Bowl is brought to you by Emerald Nuts. Stay sharp at 3 p.m. with natural energy from Emerald Nuts. By Capital One Card Lab at CapitalOne.com. What's in your wallet? And by the Volkswagen Signed and Drive event. German engineering for practically just a signature.
Beautiful shot there of Union Square, all lit up for the holidays here in downtown San Francisco. Joe Tessitore, Rod Gilmore, Quint Kesnick at the Emerald Bowl, a game that has lived up to the hype. People thought it'd be a very good matchup of a young Miami team that's coming around and trying to get themselves back to national prominence, and a Cal team loaded with talent. And here's the most talented of them all, Jahvid Best, breaking free again. The big night continues for Best. 29 yards on that run.
He got up slowly at the end of that run, and he's walking toward the sidelines, though. But we talked about his ability to run through tackles. He's got great acceleration. Arm tackling him really doesn't work because of his speed. He blows through arm tackles. There were 6 missed tackles on Jahvid Best tonight.
Best up to 187 yards on 19 carries, and you can see him off on the sideline there as they are tending to him. So Shane Vereen comes in, dot in the I, Longshore hands off to Vereen, and he's got some speed too. Out to the 45. Let's look at how Best came down at the end of this last play, Rod.
Yeah, a little bit awkward, comes down on that left elbow and looks like his right hand. And that elbow is the one that he dislocated.
He's been dealing with the elbow, the ankle, the foot. This offseason it was the hip. They contemplated surgery for Best. So they are checking out that right hand. And that's the best news the Miami defense could ever have. When he has been in the game and they commit to him, unstoppable. And now Shane Vereen getting his opportunity. Glad you're with us here at AT&T Park, home of baseball San Francisco Giants, reconfigured for this Emerald Bowl. I'm Joe Tessitore alongside Rod Gilmore. Quint Kesnick with us down on the sidelines. Miami, well, second-year coach Randy Shannon has him back in a bowl. Jeff Tedford, of course, the head coach for Cal. So much success over the course of the last 7 years, but some saying, is this the start of Miami building themselves back up, or does Cal just have too much talent and this de facto home field advantage? So far, it's been a dandy. Here's Vereen again. And now he catches a seam down the sidelines with Jahvid Best out of the game. Shane Vereen starting to shine.
Well, Vereen is starting to do something, but really, it's been Best and Harris tonight. Mano a mano. Best breaking off big runs as we expected he would. He's done that all season long. He's been the entire offense for California. And then all of a sudden, you also have Harris coming out of the backup role as a starter and making big plays in the passing game for Miami tonight.
First down for Nate Longshore in the Cal offense, and back to Vereen they go. And once again, he's fighting for positive yardage to the 21. Let's check in with Quint.
Joe, Cal training staff and doctors feverishly working on the right thumb of Jahvid Best. Earlier, he was biting on his mouthpiece in pain. It looks like they're rewrapping. They took off his glove. It looks like they're rewrapping his hand to see if they can get him back in the ballgame.
So Quint with the latest there on Best. This is how it happened. After a 20-yard gainer.
Yeah, he had both arms around the football. Goes down on the left side. You could see the right hand was underneath the ball as he went to the ground with a couple of guys on him.
Vereen gets the call again, keeps his balance, and then is wrapped up. A little pain party down there. Marcus Forson
back, but this guy, Jahvid Best, is outstanding. Look where he ranks. You know, in single season rushing among Cal running backs, ahead of Justin Forsett, behind J.J. Arrington, ahead of Marshawn Lynch.
And Jeff Tedford has had a 1,000-yard rusher in each of his first 7 seasons. Now Marshawn Lynch, J.J. Arrington, some of the greats to come through. Now 3rd and 1. Vereen again, this time on the pitch. And he is marked short of the first down as the senior Glenn Cook, who leads the team in Tavecchio, out to try to break this tie from 34. And it is no good. The freshman who joined the team just 3 days before the season opener had a chance to make the kick of the year for him. And he came up short. Still tied in San Fran. Here's tonight's Harley-Davidson clutch moment. We're going to take you back to 2003, the Insight Bowl. It was Cal's first bowl game under Jeff Tedford. And Virginia Tech's Brian Randall had a 4-touchdown night. Tech erased a 14-point deficit. They tied the game at 49-49, but Cal quarterback Aaron Rodgers would lead a field goal drive, and the Golden Bears would win it 52-49. And we got a exciting one here tonight, coming down to possibly a similar ending. Lower scoring, defense has played a key role as we've watched the emergence of young Ja'Cory Harris, the quarterback for Miami, to pass on first down, and that is overthrown. He was trying to go to his old high school teammate, Aldarius Johnson.
I still like the idea of throwing the ball on first down because Cal loads up the box on him. Just a little bit out of range. Now, in the second half of this ball game, Lee Chambers has been a big running back for Miami. 59 yards on 7 carries. He might be the option here on second down to shorten that distance for getting a first down.
Just 4:20 to go in regulation. Here is Chambers. And only managing a couple of yards there. Well, you want to talk about Harris in the clutch, the true freshman. Let me take it back to November 1st at Virginia, rallying the Hurricanes, sending it deep here on the scramble to LaRon Bird. That tied things up with under a minute to play. Then in overtime to Aldarius Johnson, helping the Canes win 24-17. He likes the clutch time. He prefers the pressure.
We're talking about a quarterback who's won 2 high school state championships, an overtime game in his freshman season, and also a coming-of-age game against Duke in which he threw 4 touchdown passes to bring his team back.
Now on third down, a little too much pressure. Ball is loose, scooped up, and wrapped out of bounds. Cameron Jordan picked it up. The pressure came off the edge, and Harris couldn't hold on as Zach Follett came crashing in, and then Cameron Jordan came up with the big play for the Bears.
It's Zach Follett making the play. And watch the left side of your screen. Watch him as he gets separation and beats his man and forces the play. The ball held a little bit too loosely by Harris, but Zach Follett made the play, and Rulon Davis comes up with it, but it's all about Zach Follett coming up with a big play for California.
And look who's back in the field. That right thumb wrapped up and ready to go as they're going to review the last play, but Jahvid Best, he wants a piece of this action as they could be knocking on the door of a lead here. Zach Follett, he's got a 10 tackle, 2 sack night working here. He said, hey, this is my last go round, my last game. I don't care about my body. I'm laying it out there tonight. So the official review on the sack of Harris to see if he was down before the ball came loose.
Looks like that is a fumble. It didn't look like his knee was down before the ball came out. Watch it from this angle. Looks like he gets stripped right here. Ball's out before his knee touches down. I think that play is going to be confirmed. Remember, you need conclusive evidence to overturn the call on the field.
You know, these bowl game experiences are very unique because yesterday I was sitting at the luncheon next to Zach Follett, who was seated next to Ja'Cory Harris, and he said at one point, he said, I plan on being even closer to him tomorrow.
He can't get much closer than he just did.
He picked up that steak knife and dug in and said, I'm going to be closer to him tomorrow. He was right there.
And Zach Follett talked about this being his last game. Well, maybe his last college game. But he is going to have a real opportunity to play in the NFL.
He's benefited greatly from this change to the 3-4 defense.
Yeah, there's another look. That look, you know, you look at the right knee. Was the right knee down before the ball comes out? And that ball's coming out as he's going down. To me, that's a fumble. That's a California football.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. It's a fumble. California ball. First down.
Well, he said he was going to hop on board the pain train, and that's a painful look on Miami fans. Costly turnover.
Yeah, California, though, has to be careful. Jahvid Best, remember, you know, has the bad thumb. He hurt the last time he was out there. If you run Best down here to make sure he secures the football, he hasn't had a chance to practice carrying that ball. He got taped up and came back in. A lot of stuff happens around the goal line. He's going to have 2 arms around it.
First and goal. Here's Best. He stopped there. His armor came up, as did Robinson. Quint, what did you see with Jahvid Best in that injury?
Well, they taped up his right wrist and thumb. He didn't like the way the tape felt against the ball on the sideline, so he put a second glove over that tape. Keep in mind, he wears the elbow brace on his dislocated elbow, and now he's got the bad hand. Ball security could be an issue.
Good observation, Quint. That can play to the confidence in the back in this goal line situation, too. Here's second and goal now. Long short of pass. Touchdown, Cal. Best was best, but then when they wanted it, they went to Longshore, and he went to Anthony Miller for the score.
Now keep your eye on number 5, Mora, and where is he throwing the ball? It looks like he was trying to go to Mora, or Mora got in the way of it, but instead he gets it to Anthony Miller, you know, the freshman from San Jose, for the touchdown.
He is a freshman who they use in the goal line packages.
A lot of receivers in that area. I thought he was looking at Mora.
And Savecchio.
Come on, we're late. Move, people.
The emotions will run high. The memories will last. New Year's Day. Joe Paterno leads the Penn State Nittany Lions against Pete Carroll's powerful USC Trojans in the granddaddy of them all. ABC, brings you the 95th Rose Bowl game presented by Citi at 4:30 Eastern Time, January 1st.
That just sounds like a Rose Bowl, USC and Penn State. We're looking forward to that one. And this has been a very entertaining one here in San Fran, playing for that Emerald Bowl trophy. The hometown fans, Cal just 12 miles away, enjoying the lead right now as Anthony Miller just hauled it in from Nate Longshore after the turnover forced by Zach Follett and scooped up by Cameron Jordan by the Cal defense. Travis Benjamin from the 12. Benjamin trying to find some running room out across the 30.
And Tess, let's go back to the touchdown pass to Anthony Miller. Yeah, he's situated right here. He's going to make his way to the back of the end zone right there, and you're going to have Mora come this way. I think Longshore sees Miller and in the back of the end zone. He's got two guys there. I think he spots him right here, but Mora's right there as well. Mora almost catches that ball or almost deflects it before it gets to Miller because they had so many guys in the same area. But I think Longshore saw Miller along the back line.
What a roller coaster ride it's been for Nate Longshore. Could that be the game decider in his senior year? And Miami going to the run here with just 2.5 minutes left in the game. Lee Chambers and once again Zach Follett coming up big.
Well, you know, you really got to start moving. 2:22 to go here. One timeout. You really shouldn't be running the ball right now. You got to start running. Your quarterback has been really good handling that.
The true freshman, Ja'Cory Harris. Now he slings it and gets it complete to Zellner, but that's a minimum gain on what was 2nd and 11. It'll bring up a 3rd and 6 as Mike Muhammad, fine linebacker for Cal, with the tackle there.
Yeah, they need to manage the clock now. They should have a play call. They should be at the line of scrimmage. They only have one timeout, so time can run off quickly. They have to be more efficient.
3rd and 6. Clock down to 1:41. Harris, little screen. And Chambers is short of a first down. Cameron Jordan able to secure him.
Yeah, but you know, you got to go for it here, and you should have a play. If you don't have a play, it's worth it to call a timeout. But they should have a play that they can use now, but don't waste the entire clock.
No, they're taking a lot of time for 9 yards of offense here in these last few plays. So here's 4th and 1. Ja'Cory to the air, complete for a first down to Zellner. But that clock down to a minute right now.
Now they'll get the clock stopped as they measure. You'll see Zellner just slip out to the outside, clearly picking up the first down. You see our first down marker there. Too long.
Running now.
Too long.
Harris taking a lot of time. He is pressured. Gonna run it himself. Stays in bounds as he was starting to lose control of the ball. Secured it for 5 yards. Miami only with a timeout left. Remember, they called 2 timeouts in the 3rd quarter.
And that's a young mistake. You need to throw that football away. It's not worth it to pick up 4 or 5 yards running the ball. You're better off throwing the ball away and stopping the clock. Now they're burning through all this time, and they have 1 timeout. They're making this tougher than it needs to be.
What a favor they're doing for Cal. Harris. Now he just airs it out. But only 12 seconds left in the game.
They burned about 35, 40 seconds there to get 6 yards on a rushing play. You just have to be better in your 2-minute offense. There's nothing more important than managing the clock, using your timeouts, and making sure your quarterback is prepared to handle the last 2 minutes of a ball game.
Well, now he's calling a timeout.
Timeout.
Well, with that opportunity, Let's take a look at tonight's Future Pros, brought to you by Yellow Book.
You know, we've talked about Miami and their ability to, come back and what they used to be. Is Miami back? Well, you look at a couple guys that they have and look at draft picks. California's Alex Mack is going to be a second or third round pick. Some people consider him the best center out there. Well, Bruce Johnson is a cornerback, and he's the best or most likely draftable senior for Miami. And he's probably going to be somewhere in the 4th, 5th, 6th round. Todd McShay, of our ESPN.com guy, has looked at all this stuff, and he feels that Bruce Johnson is a 5th round guy or a little bit later. What does that say about what Miami has become? We're used to seeing them have several draft picks.
And 14 straight years they've had a first-round draft pick.
Yeah, and they won't have one this year. I don't believe they will have one this year unless something unique happens. But those two guys are the likeliest draftable guys, Alex Mack and Bruce Johnson of Miami.
Now, the good news for the Canes is that you see all the freshman talent on the field tonight. You've seen what Harris has done. We've highlighted some of the freshman receivers. #1 recruiting class in the country hit the field this year, and they're working on a top 10 class coming up for the signing period. And Coach Shannon is committed to the future of a little baptism by fire, getting out there on the field and improving things now. But the time management in the past couple minutes hasn't worked their way. Just 12 seconds to go. Harris, pressure right up the middle from Alualu. Downfield and no, that is incomplete. Hankerson had it right at him, made a good stab at it, but it goes incomplete. Coming up next after this game will be Sports Center, and they're going to take a look at the best bowl games so far, as well as Pat White for West Virginia, his perfect record in the postseason, and a little added pressure on Tony Romo. That is coming up. 5 seconds to go. Coach Randy Shannon's first bowl game for the Canes. Jeff Tedford looking for a solid postseason win here.
Randy Shannon would like to have some of that time back that they lost on this drive.
Harris. And he goes down, laterals it. And Cooper still on his feet before he is tackled and pushed by Mike Muhammad. There out of bounds. As Cal celebrates, the Bay Area team